How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about PROG stock. It ended up having a strong green day inside of the market, and many people are asking me, what are your thoughts? Do you see this stock going back to $4 this week? Well, you know what? We're going to be talking about it further inside this video. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know those key levels, especially if we're looking for a bullish move or if we want to see if we're prepared for a bearish move and where the stock could possibly go. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information and as well as recent institutional ownership. The reason why this is important in regards to the short interest, it does have an impact on the way this stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know what was the buying and as well as the selling behavior like on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for PROG. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $3.47, being up 16.84%. On the low, it tested $3.05, and then on the high, testing $3.53. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 45.062 million shares, and for the average volume over 10 trading days being at 41.811 million shares. So as you can see, we ended up having above average volume on the day, and this is exactly what you want to see from PROG stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is at 59.07. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here, you can see we have strength above the 50-day, the 100-day. We're also above the 21-day EMA and as well as the 200-day. So PROG continues to remain bullish. And like I talked about in my previous video, seeing PROG have price action above $3 is a good look. And one thing that we could see that is very clear, and we covered this in the previous video as well, we have a resistance right at $3.50, and we ended up seeing a high of $3.53 before having a bit of a pullback. So going into tomorrow, I would love to see us get above this $3.53 and then make that strong move to get into the $3.70 range, and then seeing where we can go from there, being the next level at $3.87. If we do decide to have a pullback, of course, I want to see strength off of that 200-day. I've said that in the previous videos as well, because I feel like holding up that $3 level is very key for PROG. So let's see how it performs going into tomorrow. But for the most part, it's definitely looking strong, looking really bullish. You can see we have the crossovers here on our moving averages. Let's see what PROG does. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for PROG. Going down the page further, green rows indicate new positions and red rows indicate closed positions. So we're going to be focusing on the date of November the 15th, all right? So we have a lot of closed positions here. This is like 6 institutions / funds we have, but we also have Savvy Management LLC that went in with some puts, well-known short seller right there. We also have Paloma Partners Management Co. that closed their position. When we take a look, we see Parallax Volatility Advisors purchased 100 shares. We can see Sasikala Capital Advisors LLC that purchased 67,000 shares. So we could see for the 15th, definitely there's a lot of institutional activity, and we also see a lot of closed positions, and along with some notable names like Citadel and as well as Savvy. Now, when we take a look at the short interest information, the dark pool short volume ratio is at 44.50%, and then for the dark pool short volume being just over 5.7 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 100,000, updated 29 minutes ago. And then for the short ball free rate, it was at 69.49%. So staying consistent in that 60% range, and I wouldn't be surprised if it starts seeing around 70 plus as this week progresses as well. When we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close for last week, Thursday, it was at 50.77. And then for the close for the Friday that just passed, it was at 44.50. So what this tells us right away, PROG does continue to have short squeeze potential, and this contributes to the overall volatility inside of the stock. So now let's jump into the order flow distribution. Now we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution for PROG. So we can see here on the inflow was at 32.99, and then on the outflow it was 29.38. So it ended up being an inflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, it was 0.76 on the large, 21.10 on the medium, and then 11.13 on the small. When we take a look at the outflow side on the large, it was 1.53, and then on the medium it was 18.55, and then on the small it was 9.30. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today, November the 15th, it being that outflow of 767.79. Taking a look at the breakdown even further, you could see on the small we had more buying than we had selling, and this represents usually the retail side. And then when we take a look at what was going down on the medium, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the large, you can see clearly we had more selling than we had buying, which possibly could be coming from institutions. And now when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was right at 27.66%. So this is high, but of course no surprise due to the fact there's a lot of traders that are going to be coming in and out of this play. And of course there's going to be many people who have been holding PROG stock that will be selling out of their positions, and also people buying in, seeing the excitement and seeing that there's strength since the play did pull back quite a bit on previous trading days. So now let's jump into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for PROG stock, it was great to see how well it performed today. I told you guys this in many of my videos. I like when there's strong price action when it's above $3, or to be exact, above the 200 day. So when we have this is where we can start gaining the attention of traders and pushing the volume up, and we can get the price action that we're looking for. Also take into consideration the area of resistance right at $3.50. We ended up getting to $3.53 before witnessing a pullback. If we're able to pass this 350 area with a lot of momentum, then I'm looking for us to get into the 370s, make that move into the 380s, and then of course dealing with that resistance right there at the $4 range. Will it happen sometime this week? I think it is very doable, but it's going to be very dependent on the amount of volume that is coming through the play. If we don't have a strong amount of volume like we ended up having for today, then it's going to be quite difficult. When we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, this play still continues to have short squeeze potential. And also taking a look at the short borrow fee, it is just well under 70%, 69.9 something to be exact, and I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up going up. But for the most part, PROG still looks good, and you want to make sure you have your strategy laid out in regards to your entry and as well as your exit. And you don't need to be buying at the top. You don't need to be FOMOing. We saw how this stock pulled back. Be aware of those areas and then have your game plan designed so you are prepared for that volatility and you know exactly where you need to exit. So I hope you guys found this video helpful, and we'll be talking real soon.